A very good evening to you all and welcome to our first edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. This Tuesday, the 21st day of January 2025. First though, let's have a look at our top stories.
Brought to you by
Greenergy ethanol stoves and fuel. Enjoy cleaner, healthier and affordable cooking. Cook your food in less than 2,000 shillings per day. No charcoal. Stop deforestation. We are looking for agents across Uganda. Greenergy, Bible Corner.
Ministry of Defense budget for 2025-2026 cut. A low turn-up for voter update register. Many cite proximity of centers and placement in enclosed locations. The National Coordinator Democratic Alliance, Matthias Simpuga, takes reform discussions to FDC. And in sports, Uganda's Kho Kho women's team returns after splendid World Cup. Hello there and welcome once again. On sign language it is Senyor Mo Yusuf and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, and we are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcasting House here on Nile Avenue. Now the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, has assured the public of plans to resurrect the government policy to ensure that every constituency secures an ambulance. The program was downplayed in the budget process of the running financial year after the funds were reallocated to support local construction services. She was addressing a gathering at a health camp in Bukedia. We have more in this story.
The 3-day health camp in Bukedia district. The doctors and regional leaders stress utilizing such opportunities of free medical camps by the public.
That's why they cannot access. The specialists are far away, but some of them also have economic challenges to travel long distance. So this is one way of bridging the gap, bringing patients.
Very many people stay in the community without knowing whether they have hypertension, they are diabetic, they don't know whether the signs and symptoms of early cancer, sickle cell disease, and many diseases which are not obvious, and we only see people at the tail end. Coming in their community and screening them is important and good for them, so that we put them on treatment early.
Parliament had in this running financial year appropriated 300 billion shillings to cater for the remaining constituencies which have not benefited under the program of the National Ambulance Service System, which was initiated in 2023. But the plan did not yield after the President returned the appropriation bill asking for a reallocation. Only 116 constituencies had benefited from the system. Speaker Anita Among assures the public that the funding will be reinstated in the next financial year.
Health is life. We have appropriated a lot of money for health, the health sector. We have given, when you go to a district, you get an ambulance. All districts have ambulances. The money which was returned was supposed to add more ambulances, but we have ambulances everywhere. But that said and done, we are going to budget this year again for those ambulances.
Anita Among proposes that government looks into waiving tax from health equipment to enhance service delivery.
Very good laboratories. I'm actually surprised that we have those kind of laboratories in Uganda. I am very impressed with the laboratories we have. No wonder that's why we have been able to fight COVID, fight Ebola, fight all these kind of things.
The 3-day health camp is organized by over 100 medical officers from 15 regional referral hospitals to provide free health services to beneficiaries from Teso sub-region. Lydia Chomkama and Gloria Gutaminji, UBC News.
Now, concerns have been raised by members of the opposition on the low turnout for the National Voters Register update exercise. Now, many cite proximity of registration centers and placement in enclosed places like schools and churches. The 21-day exercise, which began on January 20th, ends on February 10th, 2025.
Here in Kampala's Machindya division at a registration center at Najana Nkumbi Seventh-day Adventist Church, there seemed to be a low turnout. While the Electoral Commission team was present, there was little or no activity. Across the road at another center, the exercise was underway. Here, a person living with a disability, Ramadan Muhanji, had just completed registering.
To exercising right here for ngabalema tibalemo kutusule mabiganta abalema bajje naffe tuyimirire naffe banga tuli ku government program.
At St. Paul's Primary School in Nsambya, the exercise was progressing. A youth who had just registered to Chirinze Bruce told UBC his experience.
Mumekinga sure nti muteekawo embeera ekebera amanya gamwe mu nkalala zino tusobole okumaliriza exercise eno tulinda akalulu buli omu gwalina ku mutima asobole okumulonda.
Besides youth, other persons are also being encouraged to participate in the exercise.
Nganzizeeyo nino gamba bannange bonna bendeseeyo kuba bagenda kumbuuza ekindeese eno n'ebyenfunyeeyo bannyonnyole nti eriyo tulina okwewandiisa era mugende mu bungi babakoleko mu bwangu.
Stakeholders from various political parties while visiting the registration centers raised concern about proximity and placement of the stations as hindering public accessibility.
Abantu ebifo ebyatekeddwawo babitya mpa ekyokulabirako nga wano wenzize ekifo kiri mu geeti omala kuba ng'ombe asikali najja n'akugulirawo kati omuntu wa bulijjo tasobola kukonkona geeti ya kifo nga kino.
Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission has addressed some of the technical challenges affecting the process. Earlier, the Commission spokesperson Julius Muchunguzi assured the public that these issues are being resolved and no extensions will be granted.
We want to appeal to Ugandans to use this period to make sure that before the 10th of February 2025, all those that are eligible, those who want to register as first-time voters, those who are already on the voters register and wish to transfer from one polling station to another, those who are on the voters register and wish to check their particulars, whether there are any discrepancies, and the students who were registered by NIRA and have now turned 18 years of age, to come and get registered as voters, get allocated polling stations, and exercise their right to vote.
Muchunguzi also called for increased public sensitization, particularly by parish supervisors, to ensure that every eligible voter is encouraged to register.
If they are watching this broadcast, I want them to know that this is one of the most critical responsibilities that they have, to mobilize people, to inform people, to teach people, to make sure that they know, one, that this exercise is going on, two, that it has a deadline of the 10th of February, three, to let them know what they need to come with when they are coming to check their particulars or to register, and four, to inform them on the plan, on which place they need to be when.
With just 19 days left, all eligible Ugandans are urged to visit the nearest registration centers and participate in the voter update. Justine Nakami, UBC News.
National coordinator of the Democratic Alliance, Matthias Mpuga, has engaged the leadership of the Forum for Democratic Change over his initiated constitutional and electoral reforms and a desired peaceful transition framework. The FDC party president, Patrick Oboy Amuriat, commended Mpuga's struggles and promised to engage other party organs to come up with a position over the reforms.
The Nyendo Mukungwe Member of Parliament, also the National Coordinator, Democratic Alliance, Mathias Mpoga, has spent half of the day at Forum for Democratic Change, FDC. At the FDC headquarters in Najanankumbi, Mpuga engaged in a closed-door 3-hour meeting with the party president, Patrick Oboya Muriati, FDC national chairman, Jack Sabiti, and other party leaders.
We will meet everybody, like I said. We will meet everyone willing to make a contribution to ensuring that the next election represents the wishes, including the frustrations of our community peoples, for the sake of change in Uganda. The conversation about the transition is ongoing, but ongoing shabbily in a manner that is probably fraudulent. And it's our job as political actors in this space to stop a fraudulent transition of power from one group or individual to another.
This is an abridged version of the reforms and transitional arrangements that they have put across and brought to our attention.
Mpuga's drafted political agitations include 3 major cores of constitutional and electoral reforms and peaceful transfer of power framework.
We have discussed the urgency with which this push must pick traction, and that we have agreed on obligations of each of the parties. He has mentioned what he's going to do as head of the FDC with his team, and at the DA, where we believe we need to do more, as they have advised us, we are going to move.
The FDC leadership committed to dialogue with anybody intending to promote democratic change. Muriati referred Mpuga's reforms to other party organs for discussion.
This is something that we had expected our friends from the National Unity Platform to take a lead in. But as nature abhors a vacuum, I think the DA has picked up the pieces, and therefore I must confirm that in keeping with our wishes as the FDC, we appreciate these electoral reforms and the transitional provisions.
Meanwhile, the Democratic Party seems eager over Democratic Alliance dialogue.
So, we have a track record of the political engagement because we believe that the Honorable Mpuga and his team maybe are saying something for Uganda, which is okay. So we will engage Honorable Mpuga. He has written us. At the right time, we'll engage him. And we have done a response.
So far, Mpuga has engaged with Justice Forum, JEMA, Electoral Commission, and now FDC. The Alliance also sent an application to the National Unity Platform. Abdul Nasir Lubama and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
The Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs budget has been reduced from 4.7 trillion in the 2024-2025 financial year to 4.3 trillion 2025-2026 financial year, and members of Parliament on the Defence Committee wonder how the increasing demands of the forces will be met. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Defence and Veteran Affairs, Edith Buturo, says they will work with what is available, and if they fail, they'll have to go back to Parliament to ask for a supplementary budget.
The Ministry of Defence and Veteran Affairs, led by Minister Jacob Both, have appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Defence to answer questions on the budget for financial year 2025-2026. The chairperson of the committee said among the issues in the Ministry of Defence is the stock of domestic areas, not paying their suppliers and diverting funds to do other things.
Domestic areas, very, very important, because it touches on our voters, it touches on accountability. Please take us through that. How come you don't pay people who supply you?
The ministry had areas amounting to 10.1 billion shillings by 2021-2022, which was not cleared and has accumulated to 83.6 billion 2023-2024. Buturo says they need 1.26 trillion shillings to improve welfare of the UPDF, like payment of salaries, one of their budget priorities, and 582 billion shillings needed for provision of combat services.
Providing pensions and gratuity, and then resettlement and integration of the veterans. And the amount of money provided here is 213.1 billion shillings.
Pension is all related to the personnel, gratuity. Food is based on the number, fuel, medical expenses, clothing. These are all well known. We would not ordinarily be asking for supplementary.
Some members of parliament were concerned about the dwindling budget for the ministry with the increasing demands, while others say the budget should prioritize paying pension and gratuity for veterans.
They intend to recruit another 10,000. But the budget is not supporting this. What magic are you planning, Minister of Defense?
There's a budget of 30 billion and zero allocation. Is this part of the priority areas for the ministry, really? We know how our veterans, they served in this country.
To do it in a phased manner, because we don't have all the resources to do it at once, but it is in the process.
The budget for Operation Shuja has a shortfall of 14.9 billion shillings, while they need 46.8 billion shillings for Karamoja Usalama kwa wote, and in the budget they are given 23.7 billion, leaving a shortfall of 23.1 billion shillings. Some members of parliament asked why the Ministry of Defense asks money for operations, wondering when will the conflicts end.
When shall we end, that operation? Because are we going to remain at war for all the time?
Supposed to close and our forces come back. But still I'm seeing something that we are still going to be incurring expenses as far as facilitating the forces there.
At least something must be done by Ministry of Finance to make sure that much as we are looking at the security of Congo, Somalia and what have you, we first serve our people within.
The border is porous. That is the one. You cannot stop illegal movement of guns.
Other issues that caused the debate is enhancement of salaries of UPDF cadres, where the minister told the committee that they have a target of increasing salaries for captain to 1.2 million, while private cadres to 812,000 shillings in 2025-2026 financial year, which will change their welfare. I'm Nafka Farida and Dan Lugemwa at Parliament.
Thanks, Farida and Daniel, for that story there. Now, members of parliament have expressed mixed reactions of the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female, and of course these were comments made by President Donald Trump during his inaugural speech. Now, some members appreciated this executive order, saying it is what has to be done in line with family values, while others say Trump needed to follow processes to come up with such a policy. They also reacted to a statement of declaring a national emergency at the U.S. southern border to immediately halt all illegal entry and starting a process of returning millions and millions of criminal immigrants back to places from which they came. Take a watch.
When we passed the anti-homosexuality bill here, people were up in arms. They were saying that, United States is going to cut out funding for Uganda, no going to United States of America, no what. But he has realized that the world, God created two genders, male and female. And for people to run mad, to begin changing that I'm born a girl, but I don't want to be a girl, I want to be a man, I'm born a man, I don't want to be a man, I want to change into a girl, to have, different toilet facilities, for instance, for queer, for transgender, for what. That was total confusion. Why do you confuse the generations that are going to come? Why do you confuse God's creation? So for me, I salute salute him for that, and I believe that it is going to push other people to believe that, yes, Trump is on the right track.
Excited. We are happy that there are people who agree with us. And really, in terms of values, some of these values are universal. The issue of, and it goes to the core of family. You see, in order to promote family, you must recognize the presence of a mother and a father. And I think it had gone too far. And especially things were mainly pushed by some groups in America. And I think the president really will give us a breathing space, at least for 5 years, that this has been pronounced.
Love. Is it man with man, woman with woman? He wants us to follow the godly law. God decided to put man and woman so that we are able to also create, when we want to create, to help God create more human beings, then we do it the right way. Because on the other side, when we talk about homosexuality, you cannot get children out of this homosexuality. So Ugandans should be rejoicing over what Trump has actually come out with.
There's things within our culture, we Ugandans have already made a decision about that here through Parliament. But then, everywhere, there should be procedures. Presidents, including those governing the United States of America, should always follow the democratic processes. So we would take the right procedures through Parliament, through consultations, through discussions, and then we reach an order. Then I would be excited that, America now is going back to the path of God, where we will declare that we have two sexes in the world, man and a woman. I would be excited if it had gone through Parliament. As a country of migrants, America is a country of migrants. These are things which would be handled. America is supposed to be an example for the whole world about democratic processes. I hate any government that gets instructions from one man. Those are decrees.
Mixed reactions there from our members of Parliament. Now, Minister for Health, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, has assured the World Health Organization that the government of Uganda is taking initiatives to meet the requirements for Uganda to reach maturity level 3. Now, this level allows the country to manufacture drugs for the international market, as we hear in this story.
In 2019, World Health Organization set conditions for Uganda to reach maturity level 3, including amending the National Drug Policy and Authority Act, reducing the number of National Drug Authority board members, and establishing a certified laboratory. Progress has been made, including the establishment of a certified National Drug Authority laboratory, although there is still more work to be done.
I want to thank you for the encouragement that you have given us, for the support. Many of you have been coming to NDA, and many things have changed at NDA with your guidance and support. And we are trying as much as possible to ensure that we adhere to the guidance that you give us.
During a meeting with the World Health Organization officials and the National Drug Authority, Minister Acheng emphasized the ministry's commitment to amend the Health Act to address existing gaps.
So in a few days' time, the bill will go back to Cabinet for approval and then to Parliament for debate and enactment. I am hopeful that by June this year, we should be having a law.
National Drug Authority Board Chairman noted that reaching maturity level 3 would enable Uganda produce drugs for the international market.
As long as Uganda NDA does not have maturity level 3, 1, it will fail to get some good seats in the African Medicine Regulatory Agency that has headquarters in Rwanda, Kigali. Point number 2, the vaccines and other important drugs manufactured locally here in Uganda will not penetrate the world market.
Mainly, we are implementing a very old law that was passed in 1993. 30 years down the road, so many things have changed. We are now looking at regulating vaccines that...
Currently, only 8 African countries have achieved maturity level 3.
So that will be the moment that a number of decisions might come. So that's one window of opportunity that Uganda cannot lose, not being able by then.
Regional advisor on safety of drugs at the World Health Organization encouraged Uganda to improve its health situation.
That there must be a sound legal basis against which regulation is actually implemented in a country. And the list goes on to consistency, dependency, impartiality, but also proportionality.
The meeting was attended by officials from the WHO, National Drug Authority, and the Ministry of Health, Lydia Chomkama and Joseph Muyingo for UBC News.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80#. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You are now entered the draw to win school fees.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
It's our mission to secure your money.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312 206 400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day. Yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the MyMTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has paid tribute to late former woman member of parliament for Nakasongola district, Margaret Komuhangi, who passed away last week. Komuhangi has been laid to rest at her home village of Walusi in Biswere sub-county, Nakasongola district. In a message delivered by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honourable Robina Nabanja, Museveni described Komuhangi as a dedicated servant who fought to defend the rights of women and children.
Margaret Komuhangi represented the women of Nakasongola district in the 7th, 9th and 10th Parliament. The late Komuhangi has been described as a champion of rights, especially women.
Margaret was somebody who you would take for what you assume she is, but she would also have the other side. Margaret was very slow, but again very aggressive in a very polite manner. Margaret was so soft, but again very hard when she has decided to take on a direction. Margaret was so simple, but again very, very aggressive when she decided it too.
Komuhangi, an NRM stalwart, will be remembered for lobbying government for Nakasongola district to attain social amenities like valley dams, schools, health centers, among others.
When we were looking for a member of parliament, we looked around and then I remembered there was a bright girl somewhere from Mulonzi who could do very well as a leader and help to unite the leadership of Nakasongola. And of course, she was Margaret Komuhangi. We went round. The idea was very attractive. We moved around with her, and indeed, she assumed the leadership in Nakasongola.
The Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, represented the President.
Kandi amanyira omulimo gwe ayina byakozire na muno ebikukwata abakazi nkamwegerawo kintu kimu nanywe kyanyambira mu constituency yange ngu ayina kyebeta organization practice, and so abantu ba Nakasongola nyowe nkanyowe mfereirwe nganjani kandi nanywe mufereirwe omukazi wa maani.
Museveni described Komuhangi as a dedicated servant who fought to defend the rights of women and children.
The late Honourable Margaret Komuhangi was a strong advocate for gender equality in Uganda. She championed the cause of equal rights and opportunities for women and the girl child. She spoke out against traditional injustices and prejudices against women. She will be remembered as an icon of women empowerment and emancipation. The NRM has proved to all and sundry that women are capable of making significant contribution to the national development and stability. Therefore, I salute Honourable Margaret Komuhangi for her contribution to the socio-economic transformation of Uganda.
Margaret Komuhangi, who died at the age of 54, has been laid to rest at her home village of Walusi in Nabuswere sub-county in Nakasongola district. Last week, two former members of parliament, Ignatius Besisira of Buyaga and Margaret Babadiri of Koboko, also died at the same time when the Kawempe North Member of Parliament, Mohamed Segirinya, also died.
Jingo Francis reporting there. Now, residents of Kawempe division have been urged to remain vigilant as the country tackles the rising number of Mpox cases in their communities. Health experts point to key populations as sex workers and their networks, including brothels, bars and lodges, as major contributors to the disease's spread. A sensitization meeting for local leaders, residents and civil society organizations at the Kawempe division headquarters was convened to discuss ways of curbing the spread of Mpox.
Ongoing Mpox outbreak, the government's response is focusing on innovation and inclusivity. With special attention to key populations, a crucial sensitization meeting has been held in Kawempe, where residents, local leaders and civil society organizations came together to find solutions for controlling the spread of the disease.
At least we have done enough research, social research, anthropological studies have shown, and we are aware who the drivers of the outbreak are. The drivers is, basically the outbreak is fueled by casual sex, which springs up from commercial sex. I've met the brothel owners, owners of lodges, owners of bars.
Kawempe division currently has the highest number of Mpox cases in the country, with over 60 villages out of 119 have Mpox infections.
Following up, twakafuna 13,300 nti ku bantu abo bwe twakalayinilistinga tufunyeko abantu 164 ne bafuuka nabo keesi.
Kampala Resident State Commissioner Jena Sime Muhindo emphasized the importance of engaging at-risk groups, especially sex workers, in efforts to reduce the transmission of Mpox.
One of the villages where we went is Chimumbasa, and we found out that in Chimumbasa they do sex work. And this sex work, of course, given the conditions when we went there, what we saw, I think they use the same bed sheets with almost the whole day and very many clients. So we are conferencing with them today, agreeing on how best can we have this answered.
Although some experts suggest that closing entire villages could contain the disease, Kawempe Division Mayor Dr. Emmanuel Solnjeji believes otherwise.
Like Chimombasa, Katanga and the rest. I'm against such decisions and the opinions that closing might not be the best solution. Because if you are to close Chimombasa, people will run to other places and maybe they will be turned into slums as well. So mine is to talk to those people in a way of sensitizing them.
While the government is considering various strategies, residents of Kawempe have called for increased public awareness and the establishment of clear standard operating procedures to guide their response.
So some of them are advocating for the vaccination, especially the commercial sex workers. Others are, of course, promoting what we call hand washing and sanitization. And then the brothel owners and lodge owners have also proposed to put up measures of improving hygiene, cleanliness.
With Mpox cases still on the rise in Uganda, residents of Kawempe Division are urged to stay vigilant and take preventive measures to avoid the spread of Mpox.
Mpox is real in Kampala, and Kampala so far we have the biggest numbers compared to the other numbers in the other parts of the country. So please let us be vigilant and ensure that we avoid falling victim for this Mpox.
Rebecca Nantongo, UBC News.
NRM Secretary General Richard Todwong has congratulated Ugandans and the NRM party upon hitting 39 years in leadership. In an exclusive interview with UBC, Todwong recounts how the lost glory of Uganda has been restored under the leadership of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to the extent of rebuilding the economy and security.
Late revolution, and it was a peasant revolution. So we remind ourselves of the history of this struggle.
The journey, which started in 1981, has reached 39 years.
Well, I first have to take this opportunity to congratulate the national chairman of the National Resistance Movement Party, the party leadership and members, and all Ugandans for attaining 39 years in leadership under the NRM government. You're asking how different is NRM from the other regimes? The fact that we are celebrating 39 years in leadership and governance is one of the most significant difference that we had with other regimes, because others could not even reach their first birthday in government.
This year, the NRM government will convene in Mubende district on 26th January 2025 to commemorate the 39th liberation anniversary.
NRM has been around for a long time, and our longevity in governance has enabled us to do a lot of things as a party and a government, because we premise our administration on the public, on the wananchi. We are a people-centered government. We toe the mass line of activities.
While delivering the congratulatory message ahead of this year's celebrations, the NRM Secretary General, Right Honorable Richard Odong, begins by recounting the 39-year journey.
And we thank God for giving us President Yoweri Museveni as a gift to this country, because for those of you who might be old enough, Uganda was not a country for anyone to be proud of. It was a country where it was a crime to be educated. Most of the educated Ugandans by then would run away and go to exile, because it was not easy for you to have a degree and stay in your country and practice your profession peacefully. It was a country where a lot of religious conflicts among the population. The Catholics were fighting the Protestants, the Muslims were not being recognized, the born again were not even heard about, the charismatic and all that.
This, he says, has been full of many harvests in almost every sector.
Statistically, you can speak on so many things, but the most significant of it is we have attained total peace and stability of the country, and it has been a durable peace, because without peace, nothing else can happen. Peace is the ultimate goal for any government. So with the peace and stability that NRM government and under the leadership of President Yoweri Museveni has ushered in the country, other sectors are now flourishing. We have seen the population grow, we have seen health stabilizing.
With this year's celebrations being held in Mubende, Odong gives a thumb to the sub-region, referring to its contribution as the light which shaped the future of Uganda.
Mubende is just like any other monumental area that sparked the revolution. I'm sure you heard the story of the Kabamba attack and all that, and how significant that area was to the revolution. And it was a corridor that connected the Luero Triangle to the Rwenzori area. So it was a very useful corridor that served and supplied the revolution. So when we go to celebrate the liberation struggle in Mubende, we celebrate in recognition of the contribution that the population of the area made to the struggle.
Odong, however, downplays the question of whether Greater Mubende has taken home fruits from the struggle which costed them lives and properties.
I need to make that very clear. The spirit of the party and the spirit of NRM is that you struggle so that others can benefit from your sweat. And that is the kind of sacrifice I see in our national chairman. You don't struggle so that you benefit. You struggle so that others and the country should benefit from your struggle. So yes, we thank them just like any other area that contributed massively to the struggle. And our governance does not look at those small pecuniary cases. We now provide governance uniformly to everybody, even to those who did not struggle.
This year's Liberation Day celebrations will be commemorated under the theme 39 years of NRM-NRA, salutations to those who re-sanctified our homeland. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Now, the 39th NRM Liberation Day will be celebrated in Mubende district, one of the districts in the Greater Luero-Rwenzori Triangle, where the 5-year guerrilla bush war that brought the NRM government to power on January 26, 1986 was fought. In tonight's report on the 39th NRM Liberation celebrations that are due to take place this Saturday, we engaged some NRM Bush War veterans on the cycle of war and Bush War memories. Take a watch.
Went out at Kavamba.
Mubende district will be the center focus for this year's NRM liberation celebrations due on Saturday this week. The ruling NRM will be celebrating the 39th anniversary of their liberation struggle from January 26, 1986, when they captured power through an armed struggle. However, Mubende's relevance in the NRM liberation struggle remains key to the 39th year role of the NRM government. Like in Ruwero, where the war was immensely fought, Mubende NRM Bush War fighters still have fresh memories of the war, and the decision to have the 39th Liberation Day celebrated in Mubende to them is a gesture of remembering their contribution in the liberation struggle that was led by President Yoweri Museveni, Tibuhaburwa, Kaguta.
The road from Rushalira, Kawamba, Nkonji has been promising us to give us that tarmac road, and people were paid, they were compensated along the road.
While other NRA Bush War veterans complain of their contributions to the liberation being forgotten, the NRA veteran soldiers differ here in Mubende. The veterans were given 200 acres of land situated in Kabamba to do commercial farming at a large scale as a reward to their contribution to the liberation struggle.
In my sub-county, where I'm chairperson, his 81 cows were taken by soldiers of the Obote government, all the 80 cows. So these people, they need to be compensated.
Speaking in an interview with the chairman of Mubende War Veterans, retired Major Vincent Kamukama of Chewanise, Gayaza Ward Mubende municipality, says Museveni did not only rescue Uganda from the dictatorial regimes of the time and also socially and economically liberated the country.
We are very happy that Uganda was liberated, and we are celebrating the Liberation Day. In the liberation, we are saying we are liberated in education, because when the first bullet was shot in Mubende district, you had a single secondary school of government. But as we talk now, we have 6 secondary schools and 7 government-aided secondary schools, which of all are functional. They are doing very well, and some of them at A level. In the health sector, we had only 2 dispensaries. That was Madudu and Kasambia, and also the third one was Mubende Hospital. But as we talk now, in entire Mubende district, we have 16 health center 3s and 17 health center 2s. We thank the President Museveni, who sent the daughter here and gave us this maternity unit, which had costed almost 400 million, and it is well equipped with all the gadgets required to be in the maternity wing.
But what bothers many of the war veterans in Mubende, they have not been given medals of recognition. They now demand that President Museveni expedite the process of their recognition.
Several people who were abducted by the government of Dr. Apromiton Obote, like Semanza John, who is the father of Chigangali, the flag bearer for Namingo sub-county, like Kahigwa. All those people were abducted and they died there on spot.
Prior to the capture of power by the NRA on January 26, 1986, Mubende district had poor service delivery in all sectors. However, in a comparative analysis of infrastructure development of Mubende district presently, the political leadership speaking in an interview say a lot has been achieved in the health sector, road sector, energy sector, water and mineral sector, not excluding the education sector.
We are very grateful that among the millennium goals and plans which were put in place, at least 70% of people in Mubende now receive services within 5 square kilometers, education, health and others.
Even the industrial hub itself adds value to Mubende, so will also
identify opportunities either for business.
Like other districts that have obtained public universities, Mubende district is also pushing for the creation of a public university from government.
At times it is good to plan. Government looks at such a unity and decides that it becomes a university, maybe as we move along, because we know the benefits that come with a fully fledged university.
Peter Masete Fred, the academic registrar, National Teachers College, Mubende, says government should consider changing the NTC into a university.
We join the district leaders in requesting government to at least push or bring in place a fully fledged university, because this one, yes, is going to award degrees, but for teachers only.
A drive through Mubende municipality welcomes you with a well-lit town with a beehive of economic activities demonstrating economic growth and well-being of the people. Most notable is the construction of a modern central market.
Infrastructure like schools, hospitals, they are in good situation. For example, we have a health center 3 at Chigando. We have a health center 4 at Kasambia.
We have got coffee plantations, which we have got. Surely, President has done for us wonderful things. We are now preparing for the celebrations.
Despite the booming trade and availability of services to the people, the demand for the creation of a new district called Kasambia is top among the issues that leaders here will share with President Museveni on the NRM Liberation Day celebrations that will be held at Mubende National Teachers Training College.
Still beg the President, he promised us some time back to give us the Kasambia district, which we have not received, but we hope in his speech he may give us the district or the constituency.
I'm Nafka Farid and Susan Naomi.
Yet another short break, but we'll be returning with the latest in business.
Agriculture is Uganda's economic backbone, employing about 70% of the working population and contributing 20% of the GDP. As the world becomes a digital global village, ICT has proven to increase productivity in the agricultural value chain. UKUSAF, through its Strategic Plan 3, recognizes the importance of access and usage of ICT-based tools, information and knowledge for farmers by providing them the needed skills to live, learn, work and participate in a digital society.
We came up with a project which we took to UKSAF, and we're happy that UKSAF supported it. That project is called ICT for Farmers. What did we get from ICT for Farmers? We managed to skill up to 100,000 farmers.
Government of Uganda presents Post Buses in Uganda, operated by Posta Uganda. We specialize in professional transport, courier and vehicle hire services across Uganda. Our routes include Kampala Masaka Mbarara Kabale Chisoro, Kampala Mukono Jinja Mbale via Tirinyi Road Soroti Lira, and Kampala Luwero Kamudini Gulu Kitgum. Our main offices are located at the Post Office Head Office on Kampala Road, with booking services available at counters 23 and 24 at the General Post Office. You can also book at designated district post offices along our routes. For inquiries or bookings, please contact us on 0751 684 184. Posta Uganda. We deliver trust.
Following the massive launch of the Museveni Awoma hit song by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni at Kololo Independence Grounds, the Museveni Awoma hit maker Munamasa Kansereko Emma, together with manager Musoga Ibrahim, NRM Executive Bujiri, and the NRM Secretariat, bring you Museveni Awoma concert in Busoga Sub-Region, starting with Bujiri. The event will start on the 30th of January 2025 with Bulungi Bwansi activities and fireworks. Then the 31st of January 2025 will be a blast. Starting at 8 a.m. with a health camp, entertainment from all Ugandan artists. We will enjoy a lot of food and drinks as we get enlightened about the different government programs such as the PDM, Emioga, among others. Come, let's welcome our beloved His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni at Bukoli College. Don't miss.
Welcome back. Let's have a look at business news. And all is set for Uganda to participate in the Outbound Travel Market, OTM, which is the leading travel trade show held annually in India and Asia. Government says participation in the premier travel and trade show in Mumbai, India, will position Uganda to market her country and tap into the unutilized market opportunities.
For the first time, Uganda will participate in the outbound travel market termed as OTM, which is the leading travel trade show held annually in India. The travel and trade show will be held in Mumbai, India from 30th January to 2nd February 2025, and the Uganda government has provided funds to foreign missions to market Uganda on the theme, Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
Trade fairs and trade shows such as OTM are invaluable avenues for destinations to market their tourism offerings, significantly increasing visibility. For instance, global statistics reveal that countries investing in trade fairs, such as this one, report an average 30% boost in international arrivals and tourism revenues.
This aligns well with the government's ambitious plan to grow the economy tenfold over the next 15 years by expanding from $50 billion to $500 billion by 2040, using tourism as one of the priority areas.
To achieve this, government intends to leverage 4 key areas as it embarks on the NDP 4 that will replace the NDP 3, which we are currently running under. The 4 areas are agro-industrialization, including light manufacturing; 2, mineral beneficiation, including oil and gas; tourism promotion; science, technology and innovation, which are called STIs.
Recently, Uganda Airlines launched direct flights from Entebbe to Mumbai with the aim to open Uganda to more international routes.
And we've been trying to push and ensure that our belly, the belly of the Airbus, does not go empty. But you can imagine that the belly of the Airbus goes empty and then it returns full.
I promise that we will work through with the Indian authorities so that phytosanitary and other requirements for the export of fresh agricultural products from Uganda to India can take place.
Government is also planning to purchase more aircrafts to facilitate the expansion of the Uganda Airlines.
We are looking at the next financial year's budget, and the government has been gracious enough to provide some funding to start with 2 mid-range aircraft, and those are expected to relieve the airline of some of the operational glitches and to ensure that we deploy more capacity on different routes.
The outbound travel market is an annual event that attracts 1,600 plus exhibitors from over 60 countries, and Uganda wants to use this opportunity to, among other things, position Uganda as a premier tourism destination. Adia Nakute, UBC.
Ministry of Works and Transport, in partnership with Aegis Road Operations, has unveiled the tolling and maintenance operations of the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway with over 119 billion Ugandan shillings collected for the past 4 years. This was revealed by the acting engineer-in-chief at the Ministry of Works and Transport, Engineer Stephen Chitonsa, and his counterpart, the General Manager, Aegis Road Operation, at a media briefing held at Kajansi Toll Plaza.
Government procured for the construction of Kampala-Entebbe Expressway in 2015 with a $350 million loan from the Bank of China at 2% annual interest. The remaining $126 million was provided by the government of Uganda. The Kampala-Entebbe Expressway is a four-lane toll expressway linking Entebbe International Airport to Kampala, the country's capital city. The Kampala-Entebbe Expressway was commissioned on June 15, 2018, and on 24 May 2021, Uganda National Roads Authority handed over the 26.2-kilometer expressway to Aegis Road Operation to operate and maintain the expressway. After a period of 3 years since Aegis Road Operation was entrusted with a mandate to operate the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway, today in collaboration with the Ministry of Works and Transport, they have given updates on tolling and maintenance operations.
The expressway has transformed travel for millions of Ugandans, providing smoother, safer, and more convenient journeys.
Engineer Stephen Chitonsa from the Ministry of Works and Transport revealed over 119 billion Ugandan shillings has been collected from the tolling at the expressway.
Since the inception of the tolling, the total revenue that has been recorded is 119 billion 898 773 534.
The General Manager Aegis Road Operation Ivan Katamba says, as a company, they have worked on risk management and routine cleaning of the expressway and ensured proper maintenance.
The team we have here is robust, okay, and it is accountable. Every shilling is accounted for daily. We have to send a report to Ministry of Works.
The Kampala-Entebbe Expressway tolling project has seen revenue increased as over 28,000 vehicles use the expressway on a daily. The expressway users have initiated a new technology employed to ease movement, which in return boosts tax collection.
We also have a second means of transaction where money is uploaded on a card before. That money is then registered on the electronic card, which when you reach a toll booth, you just touch on a pad that receives that signal from the card, and then you go.
The facility has also reduced the rate of accidents, dropping from 23 to 9 monthly. However, road users who abuse traffic and road regulations have been advised to be keen.
To cause of the crashes on the expressway, it is changing lanes without any notifications. Actually, we have videos which are very alarming.
When asked how far with the Exim Bank loan, this was their response.
An obligation of Ministry of Finance, which negotiated the loan. The 70 billion has gone to the repayment of the loan. And then the rest is the one which has got around 36 billion has gone to the operations, paying the contractor and the others.
Kampala-Entebbe Expressway covers Impala, Kajansi and Busega sections, and government has embarked on several other expressways. I'm Ivan Juko and Patrick Mugera for UBC.
Sports news now, and Uganda's Kho Kho women national team has returned after a successful display at the inaugural World Cup in India. We have more in this story.
Successful showing at the Kho Kho Women's World Cup, Uganda's national women's team has returned.
The experience was not bad since I played my best and I turned out to be the best player of 2 matches and the best defender of 2 matches. We really represented our country from the group stages right to the semi-finals, and we emerged to be the 3rd in the whole world.
Uganda finished third at its first ever World Cup in a sport that is relatively new in the country but age-old, especially in the Asian subcontinent.
Very excited to be in the World Cup for the first time and giving it our best. As we say, when we're leaving, we're going to take every game as our final. That's what we did up to the semi-finals.
The World Cup was for 24 nations, with Uganda pooled in Group B. In the group phase, Uganda beat England, Australia and Netherlands, and despite losing to Kenya, topped the group to set up a New Zealand quota that the team won 71-26. At the semi-final stage, Uganda lost to Nepal 66-16 in a game that offered lessons for Uganda against one of the best in the world.
The entire world looked at Uganda as underdogs, and the group that we were placed in clearly showed us that we had to work more and more harder.
I want to thank National Council of Sports for the support they have given us. They cleared our teams to participate in this Kho Kho edition of World Cup. They gave us moral support. They encouraged us. Dr. Ogwero was with us.
The rules of engagement at the World Cup were that each of the losing semi-finalists automatically gets the bronze medal for finishing third of 24 nations. Uganda travelled with 15 players, including Dorothy Nagawa, Rosina Nkumba, Eunice Awori, Sharon Oroma, Erina Natabi, Shirat Chirembe and Grace Ojil, who won many player of the match accolades.
First of all, because it's a new sport, we have trained coaches that have been handling them, and the team has been was able to stay in camp for quite a while, so there was team dynamics and synergy, and I believe it's what helped them. They are very disciplined. The technical team is very excellent.
I want to tell all the people outside there that the girls that I led were very determined and were very happy to see that they reached to another level. The discipline was very okay. We never had any issues with them, and they were concentrating in their game. So we were able to scoop those medals that we brought back to the country.
This Kho Kho sport is relatively new in Uganda, but is relatively in the pipeline of registering at National Council of Sports that in fact played a key role in ensuring this team travels. India, which is the founder of this game, finished first after outclassing Nepal in a one-sided final.
And congratulations to the Kho Kho women national team upon, of course, clinching that third position at that World Cup. And that story brings us to the end of this first edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for having kept us company on sign language. It has been Senyamo Yusuf, and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, wishing you a blessed night. But those of you who can catch us again, our second and final edition comes your way shortly at 10 p.m.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Looking for instant excitement? The Uganda National Lottery Spin for Cash game is now available online. Wherever you are, you can join the excitement for just 500, 1,000 and 2,000 Uganda shillings. Don't miss out. Register now on www.nationallottery.go.ug for a chance to win your share of 2 billion instantly. What are you waiting for? Play Spin for Cash now, anytime, anywhere. Ituba is the proud operator of the Uganda National Lottery.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Join us on Sunday, January 26, 2025, as Uganda celebrates the 39th anniversary of NRM Liberation Day. This momentous occasion marks the day when the National Resistance Army or Movement, NRMA, took over power, led by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The celebrations will take place in Mubende District at Mubende Teachers College grounds under the theme 39 years of NRMA, salutations for those who re-sanctified our homeland. Don't miss the live broadcast on UBC TV as we honor the sacrifices and achievements of the NRMA, a day to reflect on Uganda's journey towards peace, stability and prosperity. Tune in on January 26, 2025 and be part of this historic celebration.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
In Uganda, agriculture plays a big role in influencing many lives of Ugandans. For more than a decade, the NRM government has deliberately developed and implemented policies aiming at transforming the agriculture sector from peasantry to commercial scale so as to improve household incomes, increase the economic base of the agricultural produce, and reduce the 72% of Ugandans engaged in peasant farming. To fast-track and avoid a repeat of failure drivers in the implementation of such development interventions, government introduced the Apex platform as a forum through which the executive receives high-level oversight results reports on the performance of various government policies and programs with the overall objective of appreciating the achievements, draw lessons from failures of the implementation, and to provide informed guidance towards the effective implementation of interventions for better service delivery.
This Apex platform was launched by His Excellency the President about I think 2 years ago. And as you know, it is a forum for monitoring and implementation of government programs.
We established Apex platform as a forum for the executive public policy management. So Apex platform is a preferred name for that forum, where the executive sit to deliberate on how policies and programs of government are managed and how they are performing, to appreciate the successes and achievements, and then also to appreciate the gaps and possibly the bottlenecks that have failed some of government programs and projects to take off or to be effectively implemented as desired.
Apex comes at a time when President Yoweri Museveni has rallied the government to put emphasis on 4 key sectors: commercialization of agriculture, industrialization, ICT and services as potential drivers for youth employment, wealth creation and improving household incomes.
The 4 economic sectors where there are jobs and wealth are commercial agriculture, Emu, with the Chibaro, Chura, Aymar, Otita, counting profitability, industries, services, and ICT.
In 2020, National Development Plan 3 adopted APEX platform as a high-level public policy management executive forum to strengthen effective public policy management and promotion of good governance practices.
The APEX platform will provide opportunity for 4 major entities to come together and discuss before His Excellency the President. The entities are the Office of the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, the National Planning Authority, and the Office of the President as lead.
In its second series high-level results report, APEX focused on the impact of commercialization of agriculture over the period of 2010 to 2021 with a view of appreciating government interventions and provide actionable recommendations on evidence to better inform future government interventions for socio-economic transformation.
So a project starts with actually conceptualization. You have to identify the need. Why do you need this program? Why do you need this project? Then you look at what is it going to solve, or what is it going to address. So in so doing, you come up with viable or feasible interventions that can be funded by government and to address what you intend to address. So what we do is that at the planning level, we try to prioritize those interventions that we think can actually alleviate those challenges.
Commercialization of agriculture is among the key 4 sectors highlighted in the Vision 2040 that will greatly contribute to wealth and employment creation.
We have looked at commercialization of agriculture in this country, and the report that effect also has come out. So there's been really a lot of intervention and a lot of improvement as far as the 23 strategic objectives are concerned, and the commercialization of agriculture is concerned.
Government has massively invested in modern irrigation technologies through construction of over 10 large and promotion of over 300 small-scale irrigation schemes in line with the zoning strategy and development of reservoirs, which has helped to improve access to water for production and enhanced large-scale farming in the country. As a result, the area under formal irrigation has increased from 14,418 hectares in 2010 to 22,976 hectares in 2023. This is Doho 1 irrigation scheme in eastern Uganda, Butaleja district. It sits on an acreage of 2,500 acres, of which 2,380 are under production. The rest is occupied by farm roads and water canals. The scheme has 4,000 registered farmers, of which 1,000 are members of Doho 1 Irrigation Scheme Cooperative Farmers Society Limited. In 2013, the government of Uganda spent 24 billion shillings to rehabilitate the scheme canals and gateworks.
Government supported the farmer cooperative with an improved milling machine. Of late, it is hardly 3 years from winnowing the rice. It removes all the dirty chaff, the stones, and it can even grade to the grade you want. Still, government is supporting the group through private sector foundation, through the National Bureau of Standards, to ensure that the scheme produces rice which meets the standards.
In 2018, government expanded Doho 1 irrigation scheme by adding another 2,781 acres for Doho 2, which has 3,011 members. The scheme is managed by Himuntu Sub-County Doho 2 Rice Farmers Cooperative Society Limited, registered with 2,500 members.
In fact, Doho 2, to the time where the government met the farmers, were alarming because we were depending on rain. As we were depending on rain, then we could not successfully harvest well. But now as the hybridization took place, we are harvesting every season.
In Kasese district, the Ministry of Water and Environment, in partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, completed the construction of Mpox 2 irrigation scheme, which covers 480 hectares with water canals, water reservoir and roads. This added to the 516 acres being utilized for farming by Mpox Irrigation 1 scheme.
We registered a number of achievements in the scheme. Our production was increased to the tune of 1,936 tons for maize. We have 250 acres of rice. We have 110 acres of mangoes, which is under production.
Promotion of appropriate technologies and practices for minimizing post-harvest losses along the entire commodity value chain has improved agro-processing and value addition. Since 2010, more than 100 projects have been implemented to support various aspects of agricultural commercialization through the provision of over 300 value addition facilities, including motorized maize milling equipment, milk coolers, coffee hullers, and rice hullers, among others. In Kabarore district, Kabonero sub-county, is a farmers group of 757 members, which was registered in 2017. This group, under the umbrella name of Kabonero Mountaineers Coffee Growers Cooperative Society Limited, is one of the 49 groups that received an agro-processing facility from government of Uganda with support from development partners.
The government, it gave us this building you are seeing, it equipped it with a roaster and even a generator that runs this roaster. So this roaster has a capacity of 6 kgs per 20 minutes. So we have a grinder. This grinder was also funded by the government. So we thank the government because this is real value addition. We have added value to our coffee, and this is one of the supports from the government.
In Buseruka Sub-County, Hoima District, Kwataneza Women's Farmers Group is also one of the 157 groups that have benefited from government funding to add value to their maize produce. The group received 150 million shillings from government, and the members contributed 73 million shillings to push the total to 223 million shillings.
Out of the 150 millions, we used it to construct this bulking and the milling facility, this building you can see around. Then still out of the 150 millions, we also purchased these maize processing machines. Then part of it was also used to extend electricity power to this facility.
In Paishogulu District, Paisho Central Cooperative Limited is an agricultural cooperative registered and owned by the farmers. The cooperative has 101 fully paid-up members with shares. The group has got support under the Agricultural Cluster Development Project under the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries.
They gave us a grant worth 257 million where we constructed the store where we are now in. And they delivered the machine you're seeing in the background. This machine is a combined cleaner and also does the stoning.
Kabula Farmers Cooperative Society in Buyagadi-Antonde District is one more group of 50 groups that have benefited from milk coolers. The government, through Operation Wealth Creation, provided a 5,000-litre milk cooler that is benefiting 96 farmers that are members of the cooperative. On an average, they collect 4,000 litres per day in the morning and 3,000 litres in the evening. The National Agriculture Research Organization has strengthened its capacity to produce breeder and foundation seed to key strategic food security and income-generating commodities for multiplication by the private sector. Over 100 high-yielding and market-demanded crop varieties have been developed. Partnerships between agencies and projects with seed companies and farmer groups involved in the production of seeds have been established to ensure more availability of affordable and quality seed across the country. Okero Walter from Lamento Village, Paicho Sub-County Gulu District, is one of the farmers that has benefited from government support. He owns over 50 acres of maize, and of these, he has 21 acres of multiplication garden. He invested 25 million shillings on the maize farm and earns about 100 million shillings per year.
In net, I get 2 million to help me to growing my beans. So after selling my bean, I get 15 million. So that one is the step which I get a money to change me to become a big farmer like this one. Without money for government, I can be like other people which they never get.
In order to sustain the country's textile industries, the government has continued to promote cotton growing for textiles and for export through the construction of a modern cotton planting seed processing plant in Pajure, Padere district, which sits on 16 acres of land in northern Uganda. The plant employs over 100 people with a total seed processing capacity of 2,500 metric tons.
We have two processes here. One is via the ginning section, where cotton from farmers from fields is collected, is bought, and then brought here. So it comes, we process it, we accommodate into our store. After we separate the seed from the lint is taken over in another, it is exported and then also consumed locally within the country. And then the seeds, if it is viable, we accommodate it. Here now, we do further cleaning on the seeds. So we remove the excess fuzzy from the seed through these machines, and then we grade it. The purpose of our grade is to get a viable seed that will be able to germinate without disturbing the farmer and reducing on the cost of replanting.
Palm oil is one of the 12 specified priority and strategic commodities such as coffee, bananas, and cocoa. In Kalangala Islands, where there is a large plantation of palm oil, there is a significant potential for improvement of household incomes by integrating smallholders into the schemes. Many of these farmers have benefited from this scheme and have improved on their living standards and family welfare.
Twali tulimye emmwanyi nga zifudde nga ziriridde obuwuka kati ne tufuna project y'ebinazi. Ngaze omukyala njenyumiriza kubanga kyo mu buntu waka tuli bulungi. Ng'omukyala mpeerako n'akasente kange ku akawunti.
Government has constructed over 19 markets across the country, which include Tororo, Masaka, Arua, Hoima, and Imbara, among others. These have enabled farmers from the countryside to easily sell their produce without much worry. The government's effort to commercialize agriculture in the last 10 years have borne fruits in that, for the first time in the history of the country, coffee production, for example, has improved from 3 million bags in 2010 to 9 million bags in 2024.
We recently conducted a study on commercialization of agriculture, and we see a very positive trend in the production and productivity of coffee. And we are also seeing really there are quite a number of crops that people are engaged in now.
Despite these achievements registered by the government in trying to commercialize agriculture, there has been enormous challenges across the country from all beneficiaries of the programs put in place by government.
We would wish to do irrigation. I don't know if there are government programs that can support that, but our main thing here is, our main problem is the dry season.
We have a challenge of store. That's why you have seen we have erected these temporary stores. And then power. Power is not stable here. It's a big challenge. It affects us so much and increases the cost so much in terms of fuel, running generators.
At this stage, as I speak, we have a tractor was offered to us as it is a donation. We have the combined harvester, it's a donation. We have those other accessories And the machine for milling rice, which has been our real alarming point, is still at Butareja headquarters. We are waiting for technical people or experts from China to come and train our operators. So that one also has remained a very big challenge, in the sense that from the time we started, we have not had a machine here.
This machine which we have brought, the components are not complete. We should have a packaging machine as the last point for packing. So we need additional machine here to do packaging. As a cooperative, we have been trying, but it costs a lot, about $75,000 to have that machine in place.
One of the main challenges is electricity. Our roaster, our machines runs on a generator, and which is expensive to run. Buying diesel, it takes us a lot of money. So we are inefficient in manufacturing our coffee because of that.
Certainly, there is hope that Office of the President, through the Apex platform, will continuously provide the executive with high-level results for the executive to appreciate the achievements, draw lessons from failures of the implementation, and provide informed guidance towards the effective implementation of commercialization of agriculture.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Join us on Sunday, January 26, 2025, as Uganda celebrates the 39th anniversary of NRM Liberation Day. This momentous occasion marks the day when the National Resistance Army or Movement, NRMA, took over power, led by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The celebrations will take place in Mubende District at Mubende Teachers College grounds under the theme 39 Years of NRMA, Salutations for those who re-sanctified our homeland. Don't miss the live broadcast on UBC TV as we honor the sacrifices and achievements of the NRMA, a day to reflect on Uganda's journey towards peace, stability and prosperity. Tune in on January 26, 2025 and be part of this historic celebration.
A new dawn on Behind the Headlines with me, Timothy Nyangweso, every Wednesday live in our studios in the heart of Kampala. We have conversations that have analysis, explanation, but not every truth is fact and not every fact is truth. Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
All on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Did you know that our #1 value as a nation is to respect and protect the environment? With the current population increase of Uganda and industrialization, this has increased pressure on the natural resources, resulting into environmental degradation and global warming. Developing countries like Uganda could face 80% of the global climate change effects by the year 2030 if no action is taken. Join us here on UBC TV, Inspiring Uganda, on our Eco Plus program, where we bring you an in-depth analysis of issues that are disastrous to our environment. Every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. only on your loved station, the National Broadcaster.
Welcome to Good Morning Uganda, your go-to morning show to kickstart your day with all the latest updates.
let's dive deep into issues that matter most to you.
In a world of stories waiting to be told, the headlines are your guide. Navigate the currents of news and knowledge with our daily updates of newspapers. Stay informed, stay empowered.
From the roar of the crowd to the thunder of victory, witness the drama unfold with our sports updates. Whether on the field or in the stands, join us as we celebrate the spirit of champions.
Rise with Good Morning Uganda, weekdays from 6:30 a.m.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Coffee consumption has been part and parcel of Uganda's culture for many generations. Robusta coffee is specifically an indigenous crop in Uganda, which was first identified in sub-Saharan Africa in the 19th century. Coffee has therefore been consumed in many parts of Uganda, and it embodies many cultural values.
The Robusta coffee originates from Uganda, and therefore we can talk about many good attributes about our coffee. We have a wide germplasm where we can do different types of coffees, different flavors and aroma.
Although coffee was adopted successfully as a commercial export crop since colonial times, the culture of consuming coffee as a beverage has not been well spread across the country, so as to generate a thriving domestic market for the crop that many Ugandans produce and rely on for income. To earn more money from coffee, Ugandans need to take interest in adding value to the coffee bean.
Any action you put in the coffee to earn more money is adding value. But you can add even more value by breaking the beans, by roasting, by packaging.
This is the annual Agriculture Expo in Kampala, Harvest Money. Uganda Coffee Development Authority, UCDA, is one of the many exhibitors at the show. In addition to its stall, a UCDA mobile van has found a slot amidst the hustle and bustle of agriculture exhibitors, where coffee is being brewed and served to exhibition goers at no cost. It is a drive to promote a culture of consuming the coffee beverage. UCDA is venturing into new spaces, introducing a new generation of Ugandans to coffee and making it available in high-quality brews to well-seasoned coffee drinkers.
We participate in various conferences, exhibitions, events, where we expect to find very many people, high traffic, and we tell them about coffee, and we give them a chance to taste Ugandan coffee.
Elizabeth Natukunda has taken a break from attending to customers at her stall to replenish her energy with a cup of coffee.
I find this coffee very, very pleasant. The aroma just attracts you from afar. And it's more interesting to know that it is grown up here in Uganda.
Mobile coffee brewing is bringing good coffee to Ugandans who would otherwise not get the experience and appreciate the drink. It is anticipated to expand the market for the most consumed brewed beverage globally. An estimated 2.25 billion cups of coffee are consumed daily worldwide. Ugandans are now getting a chance to rediscover their coffee heritage and explore new ways of integrating coffee consumption into their lives.
So Ugandans are used to instant products and they actually think instant coffee is the best coffee. But we're trying to show them here, what we are doing here is showing the whole chain. We're trying to show you how you can get coffee from a seed to a cup. So we're demonstrating roasting and we're showing them this is how you turn green coffee to a roasted product. This is how you grind it. This is how you brew it. You don't have to have all those expensive machines to brew coffee. You can brew it at home, in your cup, in a jug, in a sieve, and all those other brewing technologies we are showcasing here.
Although over 90% of global coffee production takes place in developing countries, most of the market for the global commodity is found in a few industrialized countries. 95% of all coffee produced in Uganda is exported, with only 5% being consumed locally.
Currently, the information we capture from the earnings is mainly from exports. And we have seen exports volume increasing from 3.5 million bags to 6.3 million bags. And with those, we have seen exports revenues moving from around 450 million US dollars to 862 million US dollars by the end of last financial year. That's not enough of the earnings because we have potential to earn up to 1.5 billion US dollars. And therefore, our target of earnings from export of green beans alone is 1.5 billion US dollars by 2030. But coffee is also benefiting many people. About 2 million Ugandans are involved, households are involved in production. But overall, about 12.5 million Ugandans earn from coffee in one way or the other.
While the figures of coffee export continue on this upward trend, it is still crucial that the local market for coffee is explored and developed through promotion of domestic coffee consumption.
When Ugandans drink the coffee, the farmers will be able to gain a reliable source of income because the markets that we export to sometimes change. Sometimes they can also get alternative sources of coffee. But when we are sure that there is market in the country, the farmer is assured of an income and will be able to add value, so we will be getting higher prices for the coffee. Not only that, it's very good to sell what you consume. So when you consume, you'll be able to understand what is required to get good quality coffee.
This is also a sector that has great potential to create jobs for the youth.
Uganda having one of the fastest growing youth population. We are working with 19 universities. We have coffee clubs in these universities, and recently we've given them espresso machines so that we can interest many of the youth in coffee. By understanding the health benefits of coffee, by understanding the business opportunities in coffee, and we believe most of these in one way or the other going to be involved in coffee and therefore earning more from the coffee.
Well-trained baristas are the substance on which appreciation of quality coffee is built. Baristas are trained to make varied brews of coffee, especially espressos. Without baristas, exposure to fine coffee remains low, which sets the expectation of coffee drinkers below standard and dampens demand for the beverage, leading to low consumption. Barista training is therefore critical to developing a vibrant coffee drinking culture. To be a good barista, one has to understand the process of coffee production, right from the garden. How you source the coffee you brew will in the end affect the quality of coffee you serve. Here at the UCDA training facility in Nakawa, a group of students from Chambogo University, who are members of a coffee club, are being taken through a barista training course. Some are university students already taking courses in food science and technology, which means that barista training is an additional skill that will help them enter easily into the job market.
These barista trainings teach the students how to brew coffee, how to roast coffee, and even it gives them basic information about the coffee value chain and how to do basic quality control when they're analyzing coffee.
22-year-old Patricia Kadondi is a student of Chambogo University doing food science and processing technology and a member of the coffee club. As the Secretary General of the Coffee Association in her university, she is well aware of the myths and misconceptions around drinking coffee, especially among young people. Association members, therefore, spread accurate information about the positive attributes of coffee drinking and encourage others to try the beverage. She will be even more confident now that she has been trained as a barista and can brew coffee professionally.
I have learned making different coffee beverages using the espresso machine and also using the manual equipment as they were showing us. Even the cold beverages like iced lattes, iced mochas, even flavored coffees.
Annette Nakazibwe, another student of Chambogo who is currently doing her internship, is more assured of a starting job as she enters the job market. But she also nurtures ambitions of becoming a business owner, and becoming a barista is already expanding her scope of options on how to get started.
There are few people who have these skills. Meaning, if there are few, I have higher chances of getting a job and starting a job. And we've learned that Uganda has put much energy in developing coffee consumption in our country. Meaning, if I can look for a job, there are higher chances that it's there, since there are few people. And if I can set up a business, there are higher chances that people can fit, since even the government is in it and is investing in it.
Jesse Lutwama is proud to have gotten a chance to showcase his skill at making a cappuccino.
So today we've been doing the brewing session, and I got a chance to show to you people what we've been learning, and I made a cappuccino, which is basically espresso plus the steamed milk, and the froth has to be more than the milk for it to qualify as a quality cappuccino.
He is already confident that his understanding of good coffee will put him in a good position to find employment.
I believe I can make a quality barista, and even judging the people out there, because when they serve you something and you have no idea about it, especially us the Ugandans, most of us, we hardly take those things. So someone can just lie to you that this is a cappuccino, but if you have some knowledge, you get to know and appreciate what they are doing. Personally, I think of engaging in a cafe for the meantime as I look for a stable job after my university, because it's a bit of a struggle to find employment.
Jonathan Mugerwa has been taking the class through a coffee brewing session, showing them various ways in which a good cup of coffee can be brewed.
Basically, we first teach the students on how to use other brewing equipment. Why? Because most of them being youth, the machine itself may be expensive, because the machine costs around 15 million to 20 million, the full set of such a machine. But that can't be a limitation for them to take coffee, or even take coffee at home, even at their universities, because most of them are university students. So if I show them the different brewing equipments and how they can use them, then also we train them on a machine and to make different beverages. By that, they get employable skills, because we know that, and the good thing with the coffee sector, like in Uganda, it's one of the growing sectors. It's almost now in every city, there's a coffee shop, at least in every town, and they are bringing in new coffee shops are coming up. So we train them and we equip them with such skills.
Many of the youth trained here are easily absorbed into the sector.
The baristas that we train in UCDA, many of them have excels. Some of them have been employed and they get very good jobs where they act as baristas. And recently in Rwanda at the AFCA, there was an Africa Barista Championship where the barista who won the competition had been actually trained from UCDA.
UCDA also organizes spaces for baristas to display their skills and demonstrate excellence. The annual Barista Championships bring the best in the sector to not only compete, but also to explore new avenues for growth.
At the end of the barista training, we give them a certificate to show that they actually trained from here, but also they're eligible to participate in the National Barista Championships, a competition. So all of them who have trained, they can apply to participate in the competitions.
Growth of this budding sector can be visible from the increased investment in good quality coffee shops and introduction of new ones in places that until recently were not known to have coffee shops.
Yes, we are seeing very many Ugandans taking up this coffee drinking culture. And we are seeing it mainly, you can see the number of coffee shops that are being established. We are seeing quite a number of youth setting up also coffee shops, going to those restaurants and cafes that are selling coffee. Even the demand for knowledge about coffee roasting, coffee brewing, we see it is really increasing compared to the past years.
Training by UCDA is also having a multiplier effect through former students becoming trainers. Christopher Tigaiza Sezi started out as a waiter and a barman, but is now a proud owner of a budding coffee enterprise, Embago Coffee. Located in the outskirts of town, close to Bugolobi and Mbuya, his coffee business adds value to coffee and can deliver a well-brewed cup of coffee to customers in the comfort of their own homes.
Coffee roastery, we buy quality beans, then we add value in terms of roasting, then to branding, and then also at the side of the barista, we skill the youths with knowledge on how to deal with coffee right from the farm to the final cup.
Sezi got an opportunity to take a barista course with UCDA more than 10 years ago, a skill that he has built on to find employment, save money, and establish his own barista training school.
In UCDA, we learned on how to deal with coffee right from the farm to the final cup. The farm processing, roasting, and then brewing the coffee, and also talking about the coffee. Because as a barista, you move like a salesman.
He made sure to participate in national barista competitions, where his performance opened doors for him to travel and find better earning employment in the Middle East.
In 2014, participated in the National Barista Championships and won the Best Aspiring Barista. Then 2015 also, I was the runner-up, won Best Espresso. Then 2017, finished the 5th place. That's when I got an opportunity to travel to Kuwait as a barista and a roaster.
While in Kuwait, he could comfortably do his job because he already understood the foundation of good quality coffee.
In UCDA, we learned more about blending and how you can roast different roast profiles, how you can cup the coffee and know that this coffee it has this character, and then how can you talk about it itself. So in Kuwait, it was in Kuwait where I was working as a roaster, I could tell that this specific number of clients want this, and then another, maybe other clients want this. So.
Since he always had a dream of starting a coffee business back in Uganda, he now had an opportunity to save money.
At least I saved some good money, which can buy some equipment. So when I came back, the saving we had also with other team, we combined it, and then we got some coffee equipment, the espresso machines, and then grinders, and then few brewing equipment for startup.
Sezi teamed up with colleagues and was able to open a coffee value addition business, which incorporates a barista training school.
Currently, we are teaching basic barista skills. It's like more of an introduction to coffee, understanding equipment, and then brewing coffee itself, different kinds of beverages. Then also we are having the advanced barista course, which is more detailed. We teach you all the basic points, and then go to the side of just training, smoothies, and then shakes, milkshakes. Then we are having what they call the Pro Advanced. This is an advanced course whereby we take you through all the basic points, advanced points, and then we teach you on how you can run a cafe, buying of proper equipment and accessories, how can you maintain quality. So far we have trained over 110 baristas from 2020, and then some of them have got jobs within Uganda, and most of them have traveled outside Uganda. Some are working in Kuwait, some are working in Qatar, Dubai, and other European countries.
Embargo roasts and markets a well-packaged coffee brand, Embargo Coffee, locally and for export. Located at Ovino Shopping Mall in Kisenyi is Barista House, another barista training school and coffee value addition business run by Annette Nyakaisiki, a former student at UCDA.
Yes, so I chose downtown. Actually, I'm a person who have come from very far. At first, before I joined, I myself was just a dropout. And then I realized most people were downtown. People were working in maybe, you see those markets. Others are graduates, but others are single mothers, dropouts who don't have hope. And in downtown, that's why we have even people who work even as prostitutes and others, street kids. They're all in downtown. And then most people, they have that perception whereby they think coffee is only for high-class people. So I looked into it and I was like, you know what? I need to target also my people who are like me when I was joining. Because I joined as a dropout, but being a barista helped me to go back to school and graduate. Actually, I'm a qualified person in what I'm doing because I have a diploma in hotel management and institution catering now. And then I specialized in band management.
Her passion for coffee was inspired by attending a national barista championship organized by UCDA.
There were only male baristas. I was so inspired to see only one female. And I was like, how can all male baristas be champions? And for us women, we are left behind. So from there, I took it up and I be like, I want to become a barista. So I asked my friend, and my friend introduced me to one of the people who was judging them. That is Miss Clara Katogoro, who was by that time working with UCDA. She was so happy. And then she told me to go to UCDA, then apply and see how I can become a barista.
Nyakaisiki decided to enroll for barista training at UCDA.
In 2011, they were enrolling coffee quality controllers. So I went 2011, that was in Feb, and I started training as a quality controller for 2 months. I got certified. But within quality control training, we also taught how to do barista things, that is making coffees and others. So from there, I took it up and started working as a barista, because by that time, my friend who has taken me there had a coffee shop. It was called Dome Cafe.
She was introduced to the coffee value chain, thus laying the foundation for her current enterprise.
Yes, very many skills which I learned by that time. That is learning about coffee right from crop how they grow it, how they manage it, how they take care of it, post-handling practices, until it reaches the cup.
Nyakaisiki hoped that one day she would participate in the National Barista Championships, which inspired her, and become a winner.
My vision was to become a barista and become a champion one day. So that was 2011. I started working as